What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be breaking down the shocking selection of the Vikings going Walter Rouse, offensive tackle from Oklahoma, with the first pick in the sixth round. We are live here currently breaking it down here on the channel, and I was saying that maybe a guy like Christian Mahogany, Kristen Boyd as well, could have been a better option at the interior of the offensive or defensive line, but they decided to go with the Oklahoma tackle. What does this mean for a guy like Brian O'Neill potentially in the future? We'll dive into that here in a second. But first off, guys, got to make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. We're actually closing in on 25,000 subs. So first off, thank you guys so much for everybody who's hit that sub button over the past couple of weeks. We have been growing like crazy, so I really do appreciate it. But hey, if you want to be the person who clicks the sub button, gets us to 25,000, now could be your chance. So hit that subscribe button, lock us in as your go-to Vikings YouTube channel, and let's continue to break down Walter Rouse here. So he does come in at 6'5", 315 pounds, and Tom Downey here at Chat Sports, our lead draft analyst, had him as the 17th ranked offensive tackle prospect and the 127th overall prospect in this year's draft. A little bit more on him. He did play in 2023. So he originally was at Stanford in 2021 and 2022, transferred to Oklahoma in 2023, and he actually played with 185 snaps last season, allowed 0 sacks, only gave up 2 hits, and had a run block grade of 66.2 according to PFF. The number one con with Walter Rouse, he had 9 flags. 9 flags this past season. When he gets beat, he tends to get super grabby, but that is the case with most offensive linemen. But at Oklahoma and Stanford, both those running schemes allowed him to get a good blend of gap and zone. And listen, he's been a 5-year starter in college. He started his first year at Stanford, then he started his 5th year at Oklahoma. So he's got great experience. He's got really good size and length. He's a good athlete, but not a great athlete. Something interesting here, pulling up his RAS score. He had a 33-inch vertical leap, which is absolutely insane for a man that size. But, I would have liked the Vikes to go, obviously, interior offensive line with this pick. But what does this mean for a guy like Brian O'Neill? We know Christian Darrisaw, he's the French franchise left tackle. He's not going anywhere. But with Brian O'Neill having some injuries over the past couple of seasons, I still view him as the right tackle for the next couple of years. But maybe within the organization, they're sitting there saying, his play went down last season, and with the injury concern, maybe we view Walter Rouse as not a guy that's going to come in and obviously play year one, but maybe down the line just kind of be that developmental pick for the Oklahoma tackle. So, if I had to grade it, I'd probably give it like a B-, C+ grade. I'm going to trust the Vikings front office here as, I haven't had a problem with the single pick they've made so far with obviously McCarthy, Turner, and then getting Khyree Jackson in the 4th round. But the Vikings got the 6th round started off with Walter Rouse. Let me know. Do you like the pick? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments section. We'll break down a little bit more about Rouse and then maybe look at who is still left on the big board that the Vikings could take, as they still have another 6th round pick and 2 7ths. But first off, I do want to give a big time shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you guys download the Game Time app and use promo code ChatSports, that's ChatSports, we're going to hook you guys up with $20 off your first purchase. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they just took a big 3-0 lead over the Phoenix Suns. If you guys want to go see them in action, please use Game Time. It is the #1 way to buy a ticket out there on the market right now. And my favorite part about Game Time is when you are actually buying the ticket to your event, you can see the view from your seats. You can see if there's a pole in the way, what type of actual view you have of the court, baseball stadium, whatever it may be. But hey, Game Time to me is the best ticket purchasing app out there, and they give you their lowest price guaranteed. So make sure you use that promo code ChatSports, ChatSports. You guys will get $20 off your first purchase. So let's get a little bit of the bad on Walter Rouse here. So, I was kind of teasing that maybe he could be the right tackle after Brian O'Neill, but he only played left tackle in his college career, and he played there for all 5 seasons. He did not play a single other position. Kind of teased it. He did have 24 penalties in 5 seasons and 9 during his 5th year with Oklahoma. And, when he does get beat, he does panic, does get super grabby. But again, most offensive linemen are like that. He is a little stiff in pass protection, but when he does get his hands on you, it is tough to beat him. So I like this pick. I don't love it. I would have rather have them go a guy like Christian Mahogany, but very interesting that they took a guy that played 5 years at left tackle, and when you have Christian Darrisaw, I don't know. Just that was something just a little weird about that pick. But the Athletics' Dane Brugler, one of the best draft analysts in the game, had this to say about Rouse. He says, he might not have a distinguishing trait to hang his hat on, but he has the NFL size and smarts with passable athleticism and strength to compete for an NFL roster spot. He is a potential swing tackle at the next level, and he gave him a 5th to 6th round grade. The Vikings got him with the first pick in the 6th round. So, I like this move. Don't necessarily love it. Would have rather have them go, an interior offensive lineman or even a receiver. I would have liked the Vikings to go with. As we take a look at some of the best available players, with the Vikings still having 3 picks remaining, Malik Washington actually did just go off the board as I am literally filming this right now. So now he is off the board, but Christian Mahogany still there. You could go Jerry Rice's kid, Brandon Rice out of USC, pair him back up with Jordan Addison, and have a couple USC receivers in that department. I'm curious to see what the Vikings do at the receiver spot. I'm cool with them rocking out with Brandon Powell as wide receiver 3, is also Jalen Naylor, who has been my sleeper on the Vikings for the past couple of seasons. But since the Vikings had just such a loaded wide receiver room over the past couple of years, he hasn't been able to crack the rotation too much. But now with an opening spot at that wide receiver 3 position, I could see him stepping in there and being extremely, extremely effective. Or even a guy like Brandon Powell. He got it done last season. Obviously, he's not, the most explosive guy, or, his highlights don't jump off the screen, but he's just Mr. Consistency. And he was great on 3rd down. Kirk Cousins really trusted him a lot last season. So with this Walter Rouse pick, kind of rounding out my thoughts here, I liked it. Didn't love it. A little confusing that they went an offensive tackle instead of an offensive guard, considering the glaring need at that left guard position. Maybe they are planning on re-signing Dalton Risner, or making some moves still, with a couple of the free agents left here on the market. But let me know, what do you think of the Vikings draft so far? Grade it for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm still giving the Vikings, and I'll go an A draft so far. I mean, the fact that you got Dallas Turner and J.J. McCarthy, and I think when you're making your grades, for any team, but especially the Vikings, put a lot more stock into what they did in rounds 1 and round 2, and don't just completely kill the Vikings because they didn't take the position you wanted at the top of the 6th round. Most of these guys aren't even going to make the roster, so don't freak out over this pick. Again, I'm in the same camp as you guys. Would have liked to go D-line or interior of the offensive line. But, hey, Walter Rouse, you are the newest member of the Minnesota Vikings. Let me know. Grade the Vikings draft as a whole, A, B, C, D, or F. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Skol Vikes.